Oh, hey there. Crap, I'm still me. The pilot, sometimes known as Northwest Passage, sometimes known as Episode Zero, the little piece of magic that started it all. And holy shit, is this masterful storytelling. It was sold outside of the box. It's an hour and a half, and it is a masterwork in storytelling. In the soundtrack CD, they had a correlation map. It's just a spider web. And dude, was it a web to be weaved. Right from the get, we hear one of the most famous lines ever, wrapped in plastic. That's what the Twin Peaks magazine was called. That's Jack Nance's most popular line, at least for a couple episodes, till that damn fish gets in the percolator. We even get a live performance from Julie Cruz at the Roadhouse. It's just absolute perfection. We've got a little slice of mystery. We've got a little slice of cop drama. We've got a little slice of soap opera. We've got some quirky thread throughout with no Black Lodge yet. I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, it's still me. This sucks. Maybe my shirt is confused, like the internet. First appearance of the Red Room, the Black Lodge, is episode 2. This is not episode 2. Anyone following along at home, if you go to IMDb, the first season was pilot plus 7. But possibly my shirt was confused because the Boognish wants to go talk backwards. So episode 1, directed by Dwayne Dunham, written Mark Frost, David Lynch. They're the creators. They both wrote the pilot. David Lynch directed the pilot. I didn't mention that. They figured that was a gimme. Oh, real quick, I didn't mention this yesterday. I feel dumb. Ron Garcia shot the pilot. He didn't shoot any episodes at all. He left. Bye-bye. He came back and he was the DP on Fire Walk With Me. He skipped the whole TV series, but he created so much of the look. He shot one of my favorite adult films, Virginia, directed by John Seaman, starring Shauna Grant. It is beautiful. Moving on. Audrey Horne has cool hair. She had horrible hair in the pilot. Now she's slaying. We get the first appearance of Bob. Mrs. Palmer has a vision of Bob. This is also the best shit in the world. When Sarah Palmer is talking to Donna Hayward and she gets the superimposed oval, I lost my mind when I was a super baked kid. It might look a little cheesy to some, but there's gonna be a lot of slices of cheese in this, and that is kind of just a beacon. You see that, audience? You see that oval? Albert is also in the mix. He hasn't showed up yet, but he did call. Coop had to take a call, and you got an amazing Lucy spiel through the trees. We get a little bit more of the one-armed man. We saw him quickly in the pilot. This time we see him, and Hawk goes to that beautiful blue shot at the end of the hallway morgue oxygen room. So there's 2 seeds on his trail. This also had one of my favorite things when Major Briggs smacks Bobby's cigarette into the meatloaf. When I was a kid, I had no idea how that happened. And I would watch it on a VCR, going back and forth. We also have a little more of the beautiful music by Angelo Badalamenti. Of course, he slayed the pilot, but those were our standard suites. Here, we get the first time of Audrey's Dance and the first time of Freshly Squeezed. 2 amazing songs. Oh, and I'm doing this all from memory. I'm just watching the screen and talking to you. There's no research. If I don't know it, I won't say it. So maybe I'll even get stuff wrong. I did get something wrong. I said we're going to have to wait a couple episodes for the fish in the percolator yesterday during Wrapped in Plastic. And I was wrong. You didn't even have to wait any episode. It was the next episode. See? So I'll fall on my sword. Thanks for playing along. I did ask if anyone wanted to watch along. Oh, they do have names. Maybe I'll just put the names at the top instead of like the confusion of like, is this 1 or 2? This is Traces to Nowhere. But I know where we're going tomorrow. I promise you this time, the next time you see me, it won't be me. Okay, episode 2, Zen, or The Skill to Catch a Killer. Written by Mark Frost, David Lynch, directed by David Lynch. And it starts off pretty Lynch. The whole Horn family eating dinner until the door in the background opens up, cut in, Detroit's own David Patrick Kelly. Warriors. We find out that the brothers are Ben and Jerry. If you didn't already know by Harry S. Truman, where a lot of people have some goofy names. This is the infamous bread eating scene. It's amazing. If you think I don't have coffee, donuts, and cherry pies, you're out of your mind, because this is a ritual we're doing here. Don't you forget it. So the brothers, they're going to One-Eyed Jack's. face to see the new girl freshly scented from the perfume counter, and that's Connie Woods. Holy moly, what a performance. She stands in that door so nervous, kills it. We just saw her in the wonderful Night of the Living Babes. Check that out, she's in every single frame. But here's the deal, we already know Ronette Polanski worked at the perfume counter at Horn's department store. Lynch just dropped a little bit of seatage, but now we come back and this is the Tibet episode. Came to him from a dream. Brilliant filmmaking on Lynch's part. They are throwing rocks at nervous about meeting Jay tonight. Especially if you're new to this is a huge story, possibly to you, new to a new brain, and convoluted, like, whoa, there's so much. They say everybody's name, their relation to Laura. Lynch shows them on screen. We do it through 6 or 7 people. The rock, it hits Leo Johnson. This is kind of a Leo episode. We do see him go meet Mike and Bobby for the cocaine football. They talk about cheating a lot. Leo's like, my wife, Shelly Johnson, the hottest woman on earth, is cheating on me. And then we know Bobby Briggs is who she's cheating with. And Leo says, Laura was a wild girl. He says, tell me about it. And he goes, maybe someday. Oh! So they both have something on each other. Albert arrives. We get our first thumbs up. After Harry sticks up for himself, you're going to get a lot of those. But before that, Coop is warning Harry that Albert lacks in some of the social niceties. He goes, nobody's perfect. Isn't that the truth? Huh? And honks his nose. It's literally one of my favorite things in the entire series. Then Leland Palmer jazz dances with his daughter's senior picture, breaks it, he smears blood all over. What is going on in this house? And then 40 minutes in, we go to the Red Room for the first time ever. So beautiful. If you watch the international pilot, you've already seen this. That Gumulike is going to come back into style. Coop is talking forward. He's dreaming. They're backwards, he's forward. Now this was the first thing I ever saw in my entire life about Twin Peaks. I would have been in 9th grade, walking upstairs, and my mom goes, Jace, come here. And so I walked over to the sunroom, act sober. And I stood in that doorway until credits. I was blown away. Pretty crazy. One of my favorite episodes of all time. I talked as fast as I could. Do you think that works? Okay, episode 3 is called Rest in Pain. I'm still me. This was last month. We ended on a dream yesterday. Coop and Harry go to meet at the Great Northern, but first Audrey intercepts, and she is falling in love with Coop big time. They talk for a little bit. He finds out she wrote the secret note that got slipped under his door. But then Lucy and the sheriff come in, skedaddle. They want to know who killed Laura Palmer. Break the code, solve the crime. Lucy is amazing in this scene. Damn. Interrupted by a phone call, there's a fight at the morgue. You know it's Albert. He's fighting with Dr. Hayward. He wants to perform tests. They need to bury Laura. This is the funeral episode. They're fighting. One of the best insults ever. Albert calls him a chowderhead yokel blithering hayseed. So after those fine words, Albert gets punched in the face, and Laura's blue body going to get buried. Talked a lot about Cheryl Lee yesterday, but it was cut out. Cheryl Lee was hired to play a dead body. Lynch fell in love with her. So then they did the Mountain VHS tape, so she got to be in a flashback. And then she got put into the Black Lodge, and so she got to talk backwards. Well, now she is a full-on cast member because, like in any true soap opera fashion, Laura Palmer's cousin showed up. She now has dark hair and glasses, and it's Madeline. Now she's a straight-up speaking forward cast member. But then there's a funeral, one of the best funerals of all time. It's chaotic. We get our first use of slow-mo in the series. You're dead, man. Bobby and James fight at the funeral. Leland Palmer jumps on the casket. It's going up and down and chaos. Last episode, we saw a secret key get passed for the ledger. In this episode, that blossoms 2 ledgers. Josie doesn't know what's going on. We hear a little bit more about her brother who died. Coop has already figured out that Josie and Truman are dating. In this episode, he figures out that Big Ed and Norma are dating. We dive into the secret society, the Bookhouse Boys. We got the Bookhouse Boys. We meet Jacques Renault's brother, got busted with an ounce of yayo, coming over the border. They bring him into the secret society, which Coop goes along with it, pretty relaxed, which makes you wonder. Tina Rathborn directed this. I think she directed 2, maybe 3. She directed more than 1. Harley Payton wrote this. He wrote a bunch, double digits, and a producer as well. And he was one of the main driving forces of part 2 when Lynch wasn't around. Harley was. Shelley Johnson got a gun. She hit it with the blood shirt. And we got to see Invitation to Love, the soap opera within Twin Peaks. You might say the soap opera within the soap opera. A great, chaotic episode, expanding everything a little bit, but it's a lot, so it feels like chaos. Break the code, solve the crime. Episode 4, The One-Armed Man. Oh, hey, I'm me now. Next time you see me, it won't be me. You can watch this, all of season 1, all of season 2, all on Pluto for free. Oh man, we got canted angles in this one. We got our first crash zoom. Reverse Italian, it's not in. To an owl sound too. It goes, woo! We also have our first split diopter shot. Very Brian De Palma. That's because Tim Hunter directed this mug. Director of Tex, and of course, River's Edge. Robert Engels wrote this one, and we have A Search for the One-Armed Man. But first, Sketching Bob. The famous Bob, have you seen this man? Deputy Andy, he's the sketch artist. He's sketching a vision she had in her dream. Leland is disheveled and mean to his wife in front of everyone. That's not cool, bro. They go back to the police station. Coop looks at it. I knew it. This is the man I saw in my dream. Harry, a rational man, is thinking, what the heck? 2 people saw a guy in a dream? And we get the first of 2 classic Coop quotes. He goes, that's why I didn't want to go along with you guys this morning. I did not want to influence her. I am a strong sender. The other quote is the mother of all quotes. Everyone at Barefoot says it. I've passed it along to my children. Pay special close attention when 2 things happen simultaneously of each other pertaining to the same topic. Dude, that solves so many things at Barefoot. We get Gordon Cole. That's David Lynch. It's just over the phone, and he's not yelling much. Maybe Gordon Cole's character wasn't super flushed out yet, because usually he'd be, Coop! He's half deaf. A lot of talk of the mill burning. Catherine and Benjamin go to the hotel, the same hotel where they find the one-armed man. Andy drops his gun and it goes off. They sweat him down and get a lead to the veterinarian. This is the very famous veterinarian episode where they go to the vet and there's a llama on that one take. It went through and stopped right at Coop and kept going. Perfect timing. We meet Hank Jennings, Norma Jennings' husband, who's in prison for manslaughter. Spoiler, he gets out. But back to burning the mill. We have a secret night meeting with Leo Johnson and Benjamin Horne. Leo's gonna burn that mill down. And he freaking killed Jacques Renault's brother, Bernie. He's wrapped up in not plastic, he's in a burlap sack. Straight up murder. And it doesn't even shake Benjamin Horne. He might not be the best guy, huh? Oh, I skipped over one of the best things ever. Audrey Horne smokes a cigarette in the Twin Peaks bathroom. Donna Hayworth is brushing her hair. They decide to secretly solve Laura's murder. It's one of the sexiest scenes ever. Can I say that as a grown adult? They were older than me then, they're older than me now, with the crazy bathroom design. And that's about it. It's Joe Bob tonight. I'm a little worried about Joe Bob. I pray to God that he's not sick, and I kind of hope that he's quitting Shudder. The One-Armed Man. I'll see you tomorrow. Episode 5. Shut your eyes and you'll burst into flames. Cooper's Dreams. 2 things off the top. It is impossible to watch one episode of Twin Peaks. What am I doing? Second of all, this looks amazing. Most of us old school Twin Peaks fans watched the box set on VHS. They were recorded in SLP mode. There's so much brown and red and amber in this, all bled into each other. There was no crisp lines. Leslie Linka Glatter directed this episode, and there's some shots of the forest where I can see every pine needle. You don't know how good you got it. She's one of my favorite non-Lynch directors. Mark Frost wrote this by himself. Also, I don't know if you know this, all of the Invitation to Love, every frame, written and directed by Mark Frost. Just thought you might need to know that. Leland tries to go back to work. He's a mess. They tell him to hit the road. Blood shirt is processed. It's not Laura's blood. It's Jacques Renault's. Flesh World is in this episode. We've had a peek of it. It's in this episode. They find Leo's truck in there and a cabin that they're gonna go find with red drapes. Andy drops by. Shelley Johnson's. They send his dumb ass on a wild goose chase, I guess you'd say. They're like, Leo? He's with Jacques Renault, which Andy calls Renault. Amazing. Audrey weasels her way into the perfume counter. Total power move. Donna and James recruit Maddie on their junior detective mission, and man, is she a ham. That's amazing that Cheryl Lee gets to act like not Laura. We find out James's mom, she's a drunk. That piece of shit Fuck James's mom. Norma and Shelley get beehive makeovers. Hank is out. We knew he got paroled, but now he's in the double R. Dr. Jacoby breaks Bobby. This is the girl. This is the episode. The famous four-banger shot, and that's with the boys looking for the cabin, which they find. They also find the log lady. Shut your eyes and you'll burst into flames, my favorite line of hers. They have cookies and tea, not cake. Coop gets to talk to the log for the first time. That's pretty dope. But then they find a different cabin. They find Waldo the bird. They also find the One-Eyed Jack's poker chip that's missing the part that was in Laura's stomach. But guess what the best thing in the world is? When they go to the cabin, there's always music in the air. That was from Coop's dream. But they go in there and there's a record playing. It's playing Into the Night by Julie Cruz. Do you know how cool that is? You probably do, but let me just break it down for you. There are two Twin Peaks soundtracks, television soundtrack and movie soundtrack. Julie Cruz is on both. Into the Night is her own album, which has Lynch's fingerprints all over it. That's just straight up from her album. Piper Laurie does the dance. Leland's flipping out. It makes Audrey cry. And then she wraps herself in a sheet and presents herself. Credits. And that's episode 6, realization time. You know what I realized? I didn't tell you that Shelley shot Leo yesterday. Diane, can we check the raw footage from yesterday, please? We open the same way we closed. Audrey wrapped like a bean burrito and Cooper saying, So Shelley shot Leo. Bobby Briggs comes over. She tells him the whole deal. She's freaking out. Little do they know, they're about to get assassinated by a one-armed sniper. Leo's fixing to take him out, but over the scanner, he hears that bird's talking. So he skedaddles. We find out, and this is good from a writing standpoint, Cooper hates birds. You can't be that perfect of a character. You have to have a flaw. Audrey, she's at the perfume counter. Horrible customer service. Even worse at spying. This is the first bad thing I've seen in Twin Peaks. And Caleb Deschanel made this. Damn you, Caleb. Audrey sneaks into the office, lights a cigarette. She goes into the closet, smokes a dango while she's spying. That's a flag on the play, but she finds out about the unicorn. It's kind of like your ticket into One-Eyed Jack's. She figures out how to get there and goes there. And this is I can tie a cherry stem in a knot with my tongue, which I hate to be a bummer. I don't think that's that cool. I think that's like virgin lore. That's like when a girl gets a tongue ring and the nerds are like, could you imagine? Yes, I can imagine. But she gets the gig. Actually, Cooper's there at the same time. She left. She put another note under his door. She's looking for Coop. She can't find him after the bean burrito incident. Now they're both in One-Eyed Jack's and they don't even know it. B-plot. Our little junior detectives found Laura's tape, and one's missing. They listen to it, it's Jacoby. They come up with a cockamamie plan. They make Maddie have blonde hair. She loses the glasses. She looks just like Laura Palmer. They go drop off a VHS tape. Nadine is sad. Every patent place is rejecting her. Silent drape runners. But like I said earlier, Caleb Deschanel directed this. Super award-winning DP. Father of Emily and Zoe Deschanel. Their mom, his wife, is in Twin Peaks, Mary Jo Deschanel. That is Donna Hayward's mom. Caleb, in the beginning of season 2, directed one of my favorite episodes. Leo kills Waldo in the famous blood across the donuts scene, which that's pretty gnarly. There's a whole new school of thought. Don't kill animals. Please, in real life, don't kill animals. Please, in movies, kill animals. Movies would suck if you listened to the sensitive. So the junior detectives are at the gazebo. It's all a ruse. They want to get him to go to Laura so they can go break into his office. Bobby Briggs is seeing the whole damn thing going down, and he puts cocaine in James Hurley's motorcycle. Easy Rider style. Tomorrow, season finale. Can you believe we just did season 1? Episode 7, The Last Evening. Written and directed by Mark Frost. Season finale. Back in the day, he didn't get enough credit. Thankfully today, I think he gets his flowers. He literally wrote the book on it. Okay, we start right where we left off. Fake Laura is with Jacoby at the gazebo. The other two are looking for the coconut. They find it. On this side, not good. Jacoby, right when he sees Madeline, unknown assailant, takes him out. He is cashed out. He looks up. There's a beautiful shot with all this foliage, trying to get someone's attention. Eventually, Mr. Frost goes into his eyeball. for a perfect match cut to a roulette wheel, One-Eyed Jacks, where Coop is still being an undercover dentist slash drug dealer. He hooks up with Jacques Renault, freaks him out at first, then they have a sit down. He tells him a bunch of Laura's last day, and we find out Waldo was also in love with Laura. Everyone loved Laura. They set up a drug deal at the water plant for later, but Nadine's at home ODing on pills. Thankfully, Big Ed gets home in time. He calls the hospital. Everyone's going to the hospital tonight. Leo goes and finds Shelly washing her hair in the sink, and he roughs her up and takes her to the mill. 1 hour detonation. She's gonna burn with the mill. Jacques Renault at the water plant. It's a bust. They get him. They're putting him in the car. The last second. No, you shouldn't do this at home. Grabs the cop's gun, and he's gonna kill Harry. He's got him dead to rights. All of a sudden, chest explodes. He gets shot by Andy, the guy who dropped his gun and had to be taught how to use his gun, and he just came through in a pinch. That makes for a great scene later. All the cops are pumping him up at the station house so Lucy can hear it. She's been weird to him for a couple days. She's preggers. Andy's the hero. She tells him she's pregnant, and he loses it. Not the best reaction, fellas. Leo goes and finds Bobby and just starts whooping his ass. Guess what happens at the 0 hour? Shot. Chest explodes. Bobby's like, what the? Get up. Sweet ass rack focus to Hank Jennings. That dude is up to no good, but in this case he saved Bobby. We have Pete and Catherine Martell. They're looking everywhere for 2 ledgers, life insurance policy, all that business. Catherine decides to go to the mill. She sees the detonator. She sees Shelly tied up, saves her with a hatchet. Back to One-Eyed Jacks. Audrey is officially the Queen of Diamonds. She is going to hump her dad, really. Jacques at the hospital. Leland Palmer. He thinks Jacques Renault killed his daughter. He fucking kills him. That is what you do if someone kills your daughter. It's like a rule. Meanwhile, James busted for that Easy Rider cocaine. Coop's like, it's been a long ass day. I'm going home. He orders some warm milk. He gets a knock on the door. Goes to the door. Pop, pop, pop. Shot. To be continued. Sweet ass cliffhanger. And that, my friends, is season 1 of Twin Peaks.